Yeah, 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 Urko. Hey, 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 hey. Look.
Yeah, what's going on? I go by the name of Steph Urkel, and welcome back to another episode of Millennial Dungeon. How's everybody doing? No, I'm doing well. I'm
I'm doing
Steph, and we are our co-hosts,
Sylvette, staying dry.
and we got our special guest for the week.
Matthew Robinson.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's good to be here.
Nice, nice. Thank you for being part of this episode. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Nice, nice. So let's just jump right into it. So today's episode, we're gonna be talking about mental health. And before we even get started, Matt, you mind telling us what you do and tell us about yourself?
Of course. I currently work as a job coach for a facility based in Philadelphia that works with individuals with mental and physical disabilities on their work job sites, basically offering a helping hand, a comfort, and just an extra pair of eyes and pair of hands on any challenges that might come up in these certain participants' work experiences. So anything from a safety issue to learning a new challenge. It's my job to, be there with them, walk them through it, and help in any way I need to.
Nice, nice. So can I ask like what gravitated you to a job like that?
Well, to put it frankly, as a Christian, I'm always looking for ways that I can serve. That's one of the things that my God and Christ calls his followers to be. We're called to be servants, and I think this was an opportunity that was placed before me that fit that description very well. As my mentor in this job taught me, we work for them.
Right.
We people we coach. So it's a great way to serve. It's a great way to certainly give back to the community, but on a one-on-one basis, it's that act of service that aligns with my calling as a Christian. So it's a beautiful opportunity. I say every time it's a blessing. So that's what gravitated me towards this position.
Nice, nice. I hear that, man. So how long you've been working there?
I've been working here for not even a year, a couple months. I think I started
Wow.
at the latest May. So I've been here for not too long, but I've enjoyed every second of it, every minute of it.
Yeah, like the way you were describing it, sound like this is something that you like really passionate about. That's why I asked too. I'm like, yeah, like it sound like you got like experience, years of experience. I'm like, oh, he know what he's doing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. No, I'm a rookie, so I'm a rookie looking to be a vet in this. But yeah, I haven't been here long. Yeah.
Okay, okay. The reason why I want to talk about mental health because like nowadays like you see things about depression and obviously suicide, especially among millennials ourselves, and I feel like the topic of mental health has been addressed in I say the last 7 to 10 years. Like it's still a lot of work we have to do, but like we are addressing it more often. You're seeing it now in TV shows and movies where celebrities are like actually speaking out on it, on like depression and suicide awareness, and like trying to get the proper help about it.
Right.
Now, your job like revolves around on mental health or like on people with mental health disabilities. So do you see any struggles working at a job like that? Like, what are some of the obstacles that you see?
Yeah, that's a great. Um, well, as I said before, the disabilities are physically and mentally based. So, there certainly is that element to it. But on a level that I think you're talking about, that does come up too. So things like, you might not be able to tell someone's going through a depressive episode or anything like that, but just on a personal level, there's certain things that, a participant might say that might allude to that. Um, there was one case where I was working with someone who was frustrated about something that was going on at home. And, that's when things switch from being just a work related relationship to, you having to be a life coach in some way and a friend and a mentor to that person. And
Hmm.
so, what's so important in my role is learning how to alternate between those two for it to not just be strictly like, a an employee to employee relationship, but when
Yeah.
it needs to be able to be, a counselor in some ways, not officially, but just to, give any bit of help or, service I can. It reminds me a little bit about how people describe school teachers and how, when you sign up to be a school teacher, you're not just a teacher teaching students. In a lot of ways, you're a social worker, you're a counselor, you're a therapist, because these are people. Children, they're not just coming to learn, they come with issues that are going on outside of school. And in the same way, I feel as a job coach, I'm not just here to make sure you're doing your job. I'm here for every aspect of your life in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I think the main thing that is important for me in this position is to be able to give that helping hand when something relating to, something threatening someone else's mental health comes up, for me to just be that helping hand. And yeah.
That's
Is
good.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. That's true too, because it's like just like I like how you brought up the like the topic of teachers and stuff, because I feel like it's a good point. I never really looked at it like this, because teachers, even though their job is to teach, they also do kind of play other roles like social workers, because like, if something's going on with a kid at home, it's their job to pull them to the side, be like, is everything okay? Do we need
That's
to get
right.
somebody involved? I never thought of it like that. Like teachers are really, it's true what they say, like they're underpaid and stuff like that. And like
Yeah.
obviously a position that you're in, you're also doing multiple roles where you're on this making sure that you're trying to be the friend. You're also trying to be that person to make sure they're okay, evaluate, make sure everything going on well. So I really do like see that in the mental health field. So
Right,
like
right.
my questions is too is obviously we also talk about like mental health that's been going on recently in the last 7 to 10 years and stuff. So if you break it down to like a minority level, as far as like especially in the black community, do you see like mental health still being a problem within the black community?
Oh yeah. There's in a community that it's fake, or that it's something that can be addressed with like a 1 2 3 solution. I can't accurately pinpoint where that comes from, but I would imagine it comes from this idea that I don't want to stereotype or generalize, but just to summarize what I see a lot of over bravado in our community, to where men feel like they have to bear the brunt of every obstacle that comes their way without submitting, admitting that they need help, admitting that some things take two people to carry on their shoulders. And I think that that's damaging in a lot of ways, because you have people suffering under something that they're not meant to carry. And yeah, so I think it also comes from, sadly, a generation of parents, and this is no judgment to them, a judgment of parents that don't see therapy uh, being needed for their children. Like, I have a friend, this isn't directly related to my, role as a job coach. This is something more personal. But I have a friend who is African American, told his parents that he, would like therapy, and they said, "Oh, you know, you don't need it." And that just broke my heart, because if it's happening to him, who there's no telling how many other kids are going through a similar situation. So I definitely see it, in and out of the workforce. But you're right, it's something that is definitely a problem, and definitely needs to be addressed within our community, and every community, white, black, Hispanic. There's everybody's dealing with something, but it's definitely an issue. You're correct. Yeah.
I'll be thinking too, like when we was talking about the black men have to carry certain things on their shoulders and feel like they gotta do it alone. Is that a stigma that you feel as though like black men have to carry it? Like, do you think it's because we have no choice but to carry it on our own, or is it because it's something that we've been brought up to believe?
I think it some of it is by necessity, because it's no, again, not trying to stereotype, but it's known, like, black fathers in the home is an issue. Black fathers in the home is an issue. So when you have a child, a male child, growing up without a father, there are certain things that he's carrying that he shouldn't be carrying. You know, that's what a father is for. God designed the family unit to be a man and a woman. And when that's out of balance, you have things falling on the children. It shouldn't be falling on the children. You have things falling on that mother that shouldn't be falling on the mother. And so there comes this generational idea that certain struggles that, you know, fall on me as a man are part of the natural experience as a man, when that was never intended to be the case. A father is that first line of defense for his family. His job and his role is to take the brunt of force that's coming at his family. And when that's removed from the home, that first line of defense isn't there. And so, yeah, you have a lot of Black men out here taking the brunt of forces that they were never meant to take. It was supposed to be that father. But if there's no father there, if there's no first line of defense, it falls on people it wasn't supposed to fall on. So, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
I have a question.
That's,
So as far as your role, do the people that you work with, do they come to you already kind of ready to be open about the emotional or mental things that they have going on with them? Or do you kind of help guide them to have those conversations?
that's a good question. I say it's a more organic thing that just comes with building a relationship with them. You know, like in the same way a friendship would, you know, start to blossom. When you become,
Mhm.
you're not going to put everything out on the table all at once. It's something that comes with time and trust. And it's the same thing as my role as a job coach. As I'm there coaching them on the job, certain things come up just organically of you being with this person day in and day out. They start to open up about things and you start to talk about them. You know, I've talked to them about certain things in my life and they, you know, they talk to me about certain things in their life.
Mhm.
So something that happens organically over time, over time.
And I did hear you mention too that you're still pretty new at it.
Yeah.
But so far, have you noticed like trends in the issues that people face or the challenges that they have, or is it each person's different,
Yeah,
or a
that's
little
another.
bit of both?
Uh, each person is definitely different, but I think the main thing is I see a need for, or a want rather, for responsibility. You know, a lot of the people I work with, they want to do more. They want to work more. They want to um, be involved in certain things that they might not be involved in right now, uh, or have the ability to be involved in right now. But there's a desire for them to have more responsibility, to be involved more in their community, if that makes sense. So that's definitely a trend I see. Yeah.
Mm.
I had a question too, because
Yes.
going back to like from the Black community when it comes to mental health and like mental disabilities too, like I said before, like I feel like mental health has been an issue in the Black community for like generations. Like even if you think all the way back to slavery and stuff, like the trauma we endured back from racism, back slavery and stuff, it was this trauma that we just passed on and passed on. And like the only way we kind of dealt with that was what, through religion, you know. That's why we still hold so deeply to Christianity, because like as a way like to try to get us past the trauma that we kind of deal with, you know. So my question is like for people that still are like iffy about like trying to seek help if they're facing some mental health issues or mental disabilities that they know they're going through, but they're kind of hesitant to get help for. Do you have like any advice or like what are some like coping techniques they can do like in order to try to seek out help for this? Do you know?
Yeah, that's one that I think might be, you know, above me. I think that's a therapist question, but just off of a Christian perspective and, you know, with the experience I have in dealing with people with mental health, I would say uh, there's certain things that again you're not meant to carry. We all need help.
Yeah.
That's what my job title is, like a coach. A coach is someone that helps their players. And so I think realizing that you can't bear everything on your own shoulders and really coming to grips with that will help somebody open up to the idea of therapy, because that's the main thing they say, right? When it comes to addiction, I know this is different. The first step is admitting you have an addiction, and I think the first step in getting help is admitting you needing help.
Yeah.
So they, yeah, really sit down, examine, okay, what are the things in my life that are causing me the most pain? And is this too much for me to bear? And if it is, then I need help. That's the natural second thing that follows. And where can I get that help? A therapist, whether it's a therapist, a pastor. It doesn't even have to be like a licensed therapist. Sometimes for somebody, it's just talking to a parent, talking to someone in their community. That's a form of getting help. But the point is, you need to get help. For someone, it might be a therapist because they might not be comfortable with talking to a guardian or anyone else in their lives. So it's different from person to person, but there's definitely some things within our lives to where we need to go to someone about. We need to get help. And that doesn't mean you're weaker than anybody. That doesn't mean, you're more incapable or incompetent or mentally, weaker than anyone else. It means you're human. And in this one area, you need help. And so, yeah, that's what I would say. Number one, examine your life and see, the things that are causing you the most pain and how you're dealing with them. And number two, if you find that there's certain things in your life that are causing you too much pain and that you need someone else to help you through it, get that help. That's the third step, I would say. Get the help. Whatever that looks like for you, find that person you're comfortable with talking to and that you think can help you through that. You don't want to go to the wrong person. But those are the three things I would say. Again, I think uh that's above me, but just off of the knowledge I know, that those are the three things I would say. Yeah.
I also have a question too. So, because you help people who are already working, or you help them find jobs that suit them.
Yeah,
Um,
my job is mainly to help them when they already have a job. There is a
okay.
training department that helps those people find jobs and places them there, but then they bring me on to basically help them on that job.
So, I know there's already the stigma with mental health, where if someone's a little more open about it, people kind of look at them a certain way. But the people and especially in the workplace, because it's like, oh, are they capable? Can they handle it? Are they able to come into work and do what they need to do? So, how do you keep the people that you work with motivated? And then also for yourself, because I imagine it can be stressful for you. How do you keep yourself motivated to be able to keep coming to work and doing this?
Yeah. Well, for this first question about, how do you keep the participant motivated? Thankfully, that's something that, in my case, has seldom come up. I explained earlier how a trend that is, with the people I work with is their desire to, want to be more involved in their community. So a lot of times they're happy to, come to work. They love their jobs. They love doing what they do. But there are some times where, it's noticeable that they might be having a rough day, like we all do
Mm-hmm.
when we go to work. And at that point, it's just a matter of asking them, hey, do you need a break? Is everything okay? And yeah, just checking in with them. But sometimes I think one of the things I was taught on, so if there's an individual who really expresses a desire to not want to work, is reassuring them about why they're doing it. Reassuring them that, hey, if you do this, you'll be able to, buy that video game you were talking about that you wanted to get, or you'll be able to uh, buy your sister a present that you were talking about. I know you said your sister's birthday is coming up. If you working, you can get her that present. And I think, just that incentive that there's a greater good above,
Yeah.
just is that encouragement for them if they need, that extra boost, like we all do. And to the second question about how do I stay motivated? it's remembering, what drew me in here in the first place, as I was answering earlier, my ability to serve and how much of a privilege that is, my ability to help somebody. Like that's a blessing. That's not a burden. And that
Mhm.
when I feel burden, I need to check myself. Okay, what am I doing? Like this is a gift. How dare I, feel like this is a burden? And it's, sometimes we get tired, but we have to realize, this is in service to God for me. As a Christian, this is a blessing that God has given me to be able to serve someone who He's made. And so that's what keeps me, waking up in the morning and clocking in. Just that no fact. But yeah.
I had a question because from just listening to you talk, like even though you said you've only been here for a little while, it sounds like this is something you're very passionate about, and it's something like you're great at. You know what I'm saying? Even though you've been there for a little while, it sounds like it's something like you. This is like your calling.
Yeah,
So yeah, so like my question is like for people that want to get into this field too, because I know a lot on the mental health field, a lot of the younger people are starting to come into this field as well. Do you have any advice for them, like or like some things to look out for, or some things to really be ready for if they're serious about stepping into a field like this?
Oh yeah, that's a question. I would say if you feel the calling to get in this field, get in because you're needed. I'm telling you now, this is a field that needs you. It needs you. If you feel like this is your calling, get involved. Um, you know, there's always somebody to help. There's always somebody to help. There's never too much help. Uh, as far as things to look out for, I would say look for something that might challenge you. Look for something because this was, something I never expected I would be in. Um, and that I thought would be a challenge and was a challenge at first, but don't be afraid of those challenges. Um, but yeah, if you feel the calling to work in this field, come to it because there's somebody that needs help out there. There's always someone that needs help. So definitely answer that, pray on it. But yeah, don't ignore that calling.
I guess too, to piggyback off of your question on the other end, if you are somebody who does need help or you are coming to terms with the fact that maybe you do need some help mentally, emotionally, physically, how can they reach out to you or like what resources do they have available so that they can get the assistance they need?
Are you speaking specifically to if you have a physical or mental disability or more of a like a mental illness you're going through? Like,
Um, I guess either, because I guess it seems like that's kind of what you, or I guess the type of people that you're used to dealing with.
right.
So, if they do need help or they do want to get past that and be able to be productive and to work and have like a fulfilling life, how would they go about that?
I would say start online. I would say just a quick Google search of it depends on what you're looking for, but mental health services, um, therapists near me, job coaches, job coach websites, things like that. Just a quick Google search, including what you're looking for, and then going through seeing, if they have what you're looking for would be the first place to start. Yeah, I don't. Is that a satisfactory answer? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. I guess too, like as a job coach, because I just want, I guess I'm just curious as far as like what it is like a typical day for you is like, and like what kind of coaching do you do? Like how do you get these people, I guess, ready to work and like to be the best that they can be to do the job that they need to do?
right. So the typical day for me usually looks at arriving at where my participant works, meeting with them, and then basically going with them physically side by side, through their work. So if I'm working with
Uh,
someone who, works in a grocery store, I'm physically walking with them through the grocery store, helping them restock shelves, maybe giving them a few pointers of advice if I see they could be doing something that might help them work more efficiently and safely. But that's what the job entails. You're physically with the person, working with them, coaching them. So yeah, it's not like a job trainer to where you
Mm.
train them and then they kind of do it independently. You're with them every day physically. They're coaching them. So
Oh, so
yeah,
it's like supporting them along the way.
best man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know, I think that's very admirable because there's so many, you can tell someone to go to therapy or you can tell them to go seek out help, but I think it's really cool that you're actually right there with them to walk them through it because sometimes you do need a little bit of a push or it's hard to see it when you're in it. Like if you're depressed or you're having you're just down. It's hard to get past that to be able to be productive or to be like the best you. So it's
Right.
just cool that you're like there to get them out of that hole, I guess, so that, they don't get stuck.
Right. Praise God. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all. Just thinks pretty neat.
I appreciate it.
And the piggyback of what Sylvette said, that I think that's pretty cool because like when it comes to like booking a session with a therapist or counselor, like you gotta actually book the session. Like, oh, I need help right now, and the therapist might be like, no, I'm busy or something like that. Even though they genuinely want to help, they probably got other people to help. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. But with your job, you're in the field right there with them. So if they're working at their job and stuff, you're physically there with them to get them right through it. You're not telling them, oh, I got an appointment at such and such. I'm physically right there, and I think honestly that takes even more guts or like more like heart. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really right there, and they feel like they actually have a friend right there. They're not just somebody that's just going to just write some notes down on a notebook. That you're
Yeah.
really right there helping them along the way through their day, and I think that's admirable. You
It's
know?
like if you were in the gym, you don't want someone to tell you, oh, lift these weights or do this, but they're not doing it. So the fact
Yeah,
that you're like doing it, it shows like if I can do it, then you can do it too.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just really encouraging. It's
Yeah.
nice. I didn't even know that was like a job or
I didn't
anything.
know either.
So it's
I'm
really
not gonna.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. About it. I'm telling you, like again, if this is your calling, it's definitely, needed, like both of you just said, you didn't know about it, but you know, thankful for this podcast, we can get the word about these types of positions out there because, it would be beautiful to see more positions like these being filled to where, we can help people of this population.
and I'm glad you was like dropping a lot of gems on like ways to get help and like what you do, because like I said before, like and especially like when you're younger too, like I feel as though getting help or like getting therapy is seen as a I don't know embarrassment for a lot of people, especially when you're young, because if you tell somebody that you're not mentally well or like you need therapy or you need help,
Yeah,
they obviously look at you as an embarrassment. Not everybody, obviously, but it's just like they're embarrassed to tell you because nobody wants to feel like they're the black sheep in their family. You know, nobody wants to feel like the person that their family needs to watch over and take care of. It was like you said before, like we all human, we all need help here and
that's
there. You know what I'm saying? And if
that's
it
right.
means like getting help and getting better mentally, so that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
And the way you was describing it is just like I feel like you're somebody that this is like your calling, and like not just to say that as nice words, like this is something that you're really sound like you're good at, and I just wish that I knew about this sooner. Like I'm mad that I'm kind of finding out about this now, but it's like you said before, I'm glad that you're on this platform where we can actually talk about this and get the word out. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
yes, sir.
And a big part of it too is they always say it takes a village to raise a child, but it doesn't really stop there because everybody needs help. Everybody needs support and like a good network of people there for them to help encourage them and to just like keep them motivated, especially when they're having mental health issues. So I just think it's really commendable and admirable that you are that support system to a lot of people who need it because sometimes you just need a person to talk to or a person to show you that it's okay and there's nothing wrong with you. You
That's
just,
right. Yeah,
you're just having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, but that's okay. You're going to get through it and there's always going to be people there. So I'm just very glad that you do what you do.
Thank you. Praise God. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I got. Anything you got, Savannah?
Just thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Like I said, I didn't know about this particular job. So, I'm just really glad that it's there because a lot of people need it. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that you've worked with who have benefited greatly from it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you guys for having me on here. Again, thank you for this opportunity. Hopefully we can enlighten more people about this area of work and, spread the word about these things. Thank you guys.
No problem, man.
You.
We definitely gotta get you on here soon.
Oh yeah,
But
of course.
you know, I with that being said, this has been another episode of the Millennial Dungeon. Drive safely, people. I know,
Yes.
especially with this weather outside, people be driving crazy, feel like they got a rush to get home. Slow down these roads because people act like they in Fast and the Furious movie. Chill out.
No
Yeah.
Tokyo drifting here, okay?
Exactly. Vin Diesel. Like we family, but we not. Relax, okay? With that being said, I go by the name of Steph.
I'm Sylvette.
I'm Matthew Robinson.
This has been another episode of Millennial Dungeon. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
God!
Hey man, this is mental health too, man. Damn, what?
Yeah. Ergo.